Hello and happy Sunday. Welcome back to another episode, segment, whatever you want to call it, of Girls Gabbin. Let me give you a little background on what's going on today because I am here without my co-host, but she will definitely be joining us next week. So for today, I'm Lisa Dove Washington of Girls Gabbin, the other half of Girls Gabbin radio show, and I welcome you back to another Sunday. Today is March 31st.
Yes.
And this is actually the last episode of the month of March. But not just that, all month long it's been Women's History Month. And we have been celebrating women, fabulous women. Not that we haven't been able to bring them all in because we will be doing this for years to come. But we have tried to bring, some wonderful, wonderful people, trailblazers, people who are doing wonderful things in the community. We tried to bring them to the table, so they've all been to Girls Gabbin, and we decided that the theme for this month was the wonderment of the woman.
Yes.
So today is going to be no exception to that rule of wonderful women coming to Girls Gabbin because we know how to bring in the best of the best of the best.
Yes.
And we are going to talk about, which I know everybody's interested in, money. That's how we're ending out this month. But I did want to say thank you to all of the wonderful women that we have coming to us all month long. And I wanted to make sure that you all continue to tune in. We come on every Sunday, 7 to 8 p.m. on Wendy C Radio, powered by Gabbin Media. So, before we get into introducing our wonderful guests, we will have a guest joining us on the phone. And we have two dynamic guests inside. We're going to talk a little bit about, since it's the hot topic of the day, the weekend, we're going to talk a little bit about the NAACP Image Awards.
Okay. All right. All right.
And I'll just kind of give a little background, and you all can give me what you think about whoever for a few minutes while we wait for Viola to come in. We're going to have her do, we're going to introduce her first.
Okay.
And if she wants to stay online and join us, we will. But we're going to have a good time. So y'all bear with me because I'm alone but not alone.
No, you're not.
Right? So, for the NAACP Image Awards, which was called, I saw it was coined the Blackest Red Carpet Celebrity event. 50 years, I think they're celebrating this year. And I didn't realize they were celebrating 50 years. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
So, some of the winners that were out there, and I'm just going to throw them out there, and you all kind of pick which one you either thought was a good thing, bad thing, interesting thing, whatever. But I think Black Panther, Power, Blackish were all recognized. Beyonce was Entertainer of the Year.
Yeah, I saw that.
And her husband, Jay-Z, got the President's Award. Okay, so then we had Congressman Maxine Waters. She got the Chairman's Award. And Tom Joyner got the Vanguard Award, which I didn't realize, I didn't hear about that either so much.
Yeah.
Insecure on HBO was recognized, and Anthony Anderson actually hosted it.
Yeah.
But he actually, I think, was a winner of an award as well, because Blackish was all over the places. Taraji Henson got one for Empire. The Bobby Brown story got one from BET, which I did not know. I did hear that Iyanla Van Zant got one for Fix My Life.
Okay.
And what I thought was kind of cool was the Red Table Talk with Jada Pinkett and Willow and her mom Adrienne. They got one, which was kind of cool because they just came out with something.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy it.
Yeah,
I do enjoy it. So, let me hear what you all think about any of those or somebody I missed.
Well, let me just say this.
Okay.
I really don't watch a lot of television. So when it comes to the Image Award, I would say I probably don't have probably the best opinion about it. Now, I think about those particular people.
Yeah.
I did watch Blackish before it caught on. I thought it was a really good show, and it still is, because I think it tackles issues that we have in our community that we make light of, but then they have an opportunity to share with everybody. So I think that that's really cool.
Right.
And they do it in a lighthearted way.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite episodes was the head nod, which I thought was hilarious. And so, because the little boy, he was, Anthony Anderson was falling apart because his son didn't recognize another black person.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And he didn't head nod him, and he was like, you have to. It became this big
Unspoken
deal.
words. Come on now. You got
And
another call.
with how they always like the spin. So the spin on it was he recognized smart people. So it didn't matter what color they were smart. And so he hid not smart people. So, but that was, it was so cool. He was walking down the campus and he saw his little nerdy friend. He was like, and his father almost fell out. Like, no. But, so, but just in regards to some of the other awards, it would be interesting to find out why Jay-Z got the President Award. Now, from a business standpoint, I am a fan of Jay-Z and Beyonce, just from a standpoint of creation of jobs, creation of scholarships, what they do with their money, the fact that together they're a billionaire couple.
Right.
So I would be interested in knowing what that award was for.
Right, what did he do to
get that particular
and plus she
award.
won one too. Just
And hers was Entertainer of the Year.
Entertainer of the Year.
Okay.
I mean, well, that's my girl, so I can't take back. But I don't know. Again, I don't know who she was competing against, because I mean, she's not. She wasn't doing anything new.
Yeah.
But I do think she is a fabulous. Is she the best singer? No.
Right.
But is she the best entertainer to me? Absolutely.
She puts on a show. She puts on a show.
If you go to, I think I had Googled NAACP Image Awards 2019. Yeah. And there was a list there, and it actually is set up so you can see everyone who was nominated, and then it'll show you who the winner is. Yeah. And the list was so long, I said I couldn't. I had to cut it off because it's like, okay, I gotta go somewhere. But
I totally missed the awards, but I do like the news. I read it online and everything like that because I'm like you. I don't do a lot of television.
Right.
Because to be honest, it'll be like confession, like
she's not calling in Viola,
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm like, I don't even have cable anymore.
Yes, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Hello.
Hello, this is Viola joining in.
Hi, Viola. We were just chatting. Thank you for joining us. So we're going to actually continue this a little bit. So you joined in with us. We were actually talking about the NAACP awards, and I don't know if you were tuning in before you called in, but we were just sharing some of our thoughts on who won, who didn't win, why they won, whatever. So chime in when you want to, and then we will start off the introductions with you, and hopefully you can join us for the entire show. But if not, I do understand. But we're going to introduce you first when we finish chatting a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you.
So, and another good thing is like you listed one of the shows is like Insecure. I did watch a couple of those episodes before I the cable, but I love the way that she developed a story based on life experiences.
Yes.
And she was able to make and she was able to make a business out of it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? She took it that step further. She stepped out of that, comfort zone, stepped into fear, and basically like, hey, I'm going to represent me and a generation of young African American women who are going through these things too. We're not one type of stereotype, one type of classification. We're showing the rainbow, and it's a sisterhood. That's another thing, that huge thing that I love about that show, and I'm just loving to seeing her getting the recognition for that. Something just as showing the sisterhood, collaboration, when you go through your ups and downs with your girlfriends, showing the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Well, and there was a lot of, it was almost too real for me.
Yeah.
A couple of the episodes, I was like, wow,
me too. I was like,
shared
wow,
like that.
Yeah, but they were real.
But it was real. Like, I think I've had some of those conversations.
Yeah.
I do watch Insecure. But if I stream stuff, even if it's not on Netflix, I still binge watch it. I won't watch it for like 3 weeks and then I'll binge watch it.
Exactly.
So, but I do I like the episode when here we go back to Beyonce. But when it was at Coachella.
Yeah.
And I don't know everybody's name, but the girl got drunk. So that was, but I do, like you said, it is a wonderful show, and then I like the play on her, and God, I can't remember her boyfriend's name.
Yeah, I forgot too. That was it.
Lawrence, right.
Yeah, Lawrence.
So, I wonder why you know his name. So, I did like that, So, when Lawrence made the appearance at the end, it was like, oh! So, because they didn't show him the whole season, and then it was like, oh! Right. So,
what's going on?
And just because they pulled in, which I was surprised about, they had a huge male following. Coming off of the first season.
Really? I didn't know that.
When you would get on Facebook, it would be like a battle because it was like Team Issa and Team Lawrence, and so and people would go back and forth all day on. I think they came on Sunday or whatever. So the day after.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh my gosh! And so I guess it has to do with who are your Facebook friends. So, and so I always tell people that mine's run the gamut. It just depends. It's one of the things about being in finances for 17 years is that I'm blessed to now now it's a generational thing. So I have
Yeah.
parents that refer kids to me. So some of my Facebook friends are
Okay.
in their early
Yeah.
20s.
That's a good thing.
And or some of them in their early 30s, but they all kind of in that section.
Correct,
So that was
correct.
very interesting that they would argue
Right.
the next day about, you know, who was right or wrong.
But people
with
do. They get so passionate about it. It's like they identify with it.
Yes.
And then it's like, I compare it to like people who are attached to sports teams.
Yeah.
It's like people
Mhm.
get so passionate about it, and you love seeing that.
Yeah.
Right.
Because something in that material is sparking that emotional response, that connection. And it is. It's so true because you're like, you have younger generation clients.
Mhm.
I do too. And plus I have older clients. So it's like you see the gambit, and one thing that's so clear is like, yeah, you want to make sure that you're having that passion too for whatever it is that you do.
Yes.
It's like lucky enough, I feel so blessed and honored that I have, same thing, been in finance 20 something years, and you find that passion. When you find that path, it just feels so great because it's like not even like muscle movement, but it's like second nature
Yes.
to help someone. And it's like I love seeing that. Like that's why I feel about where her show is such like an ease. It looks it's an ease for her.
She's not
and
working.
I love it.
Yeah,
Exactly,
Kind of
right?
like she's just home and
Yeah.
somebody happens to have a camera in there
And
and
she
they're
just-
watching her.
Correct.
Let me pull my violin. Viola, did you see the NAACP awards? Who was your favorite or not so favorite?
To be honest with you all, I didn't actually not watch the show. That's the reason why I'm a little bit silent because I didn't watch the show. I don't know.
Well, they're
I didn't
replaying it for weeks to come, I'm sure,
Yeah.
just repeating it or whatever.
Or
But
news clippings from on the news or
yes,
something.
so
or
we will be
tidbits.
bombarded with who won,
Right.
who didn't win, and
Right.
who was mad about who did and who didn't win. So,
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna go right into sharing because I know people are eager to know about money, right? I'm looking to
Right.
see, and I think people
I
are
would
eager
hope
to.
so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a big deal. So
It's
this was
nuggets.
a perfect way to end, on our Woman of Wonderment segment to make our money right before we go into the next month.
All right.
So we're going to start off with, I'm going to introduce to you someone who was grown from two different cultures, and she'll share with us which two those are. Her mission is to inspire and motivate the youth on the value of education while guiding them on a path of leadership. She's a graduate of Coppin State University School of Business with a degree in accounting, and she's an accountant with TD Emory CPA and Associates since I think 2014. She focuses on tax preparation for corporations and individuals. She's a motivational speaker, educator, business consultant, and a humanitarian. She has also established and correct me if I don't say this correctly,
That's okay.
TEBA, is it
That's right, Teva.
TEBA Educational Initiative Organization, which is an initiative that supports students in developing countries through mentorship programs, scholarships, opportunities, and more. And her mission is to give back to her community and the less fortunate. Please welcome Viola TEBA.
All right.
Yay.
Hey. Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Welcome, welcome. I wanted to. I knew about the initiative, but I didn't know about the accounting. So when I saw
Yeah.
that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a whole room full. I'm hoping everybody has their notes, their pen and their paper, because it's gonna be some good information today. But I actually met Viola, just to give a little background, because she models too.
All
Okay.
right.
She didn't mention that, but she's a beautiful young lady, and she models and probably does a whole lot of other things. But tell us a little bit about, what you do now and what you used to do, and then we'll make sure that they have a way to contact you because you're doing some fabulous things.
Thank you. First and foremost, I just want to thank you for inviting me to be on the show, and thank you all ladies for being on here for us to really share our thoughts and our ideas with all the women out there. So just as she introduced,
Viola.
I think that was my own.
No, that's somebody else calling.
Hello?
Viola, call back.
Yes,
Hi.
please. If you got disconnected, please dial back in, Viola.
Yeah, please call back in. I'm not sure who's calling in. They're trying to push you out. Hello?
Yeah, I guess we're having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, I think another call came in, so it kind of threw everything off. But we got you back. Nobody else can come in because you're in.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Sorry about that.
Not a problem, not a problem. So as I was saying, I just want to thank you for welcoming me on the show, and thank you all ladies for joining in for us to share, our field to other women out there. Just a little background, as she already stated. I'm currently still at TD focusing on tax preparation and audit work. I've been doing that for 5 years now. And also in transition of that, I have a non-for-profit organization that focuses on education. As you all probably can tell, I have an accent, but I was born and raised in West Africa, Ghana.
Okay.
And then transitioned to the United States when I was 13 years old. So I've been here for quite a while now. And then I graduated from Gabbin State University. So being in college, I saw a big gap between the education system in Ghana and also right here in the United States, which really...
You can go ahead.
Okay.
We're ignoring them. We're listening to you.
Okay, all right, great. So which really, because of that, it really motivated me to start an initiative that will focus on education, bridging the gap between young children in Africa and also African American students in the United States as well. So that's what the initiative started all about. And also based on some challenges that I actually encountered while I was going to, from high school to college, facing some financial challenges, youth, just the regular youth challenges that you go through, and not really having a mentor, a role model to really look to and talk to. So I wanted to create that channel where we'll be able to inspire the next generation and the youth out there that, just in case you go into school, you're struggling in life and you needed somebody to talk to maneuver through the life challenges that come your way. So we established that initiative, and it's been almost 4 years that we've been doing it. We've been making a lot of impact with the students in Ghana. We have projects in Haiti. We have projects in South Africa. We go to D.C. and work with a school called Kumba Learning Center. It's an African learning center where we're able to share, the African culture with the young children in D.C. They're already like African centers, so they're learning a lot about African culture. And how can we really get these young children? Because, we call ourselves African Americans, but are we really thinking about the continent? Are we getting motivated to go back to the continent? Are we reaching out to our other brothers and sisters on the continent? And I know, like, maybe you might not have any friends in Africa, but through the Africans in the diaspora, and also the African Americans here, we can collaborate, and start changing our thoughts and our mindset about the continent and really create a partnership. So, but we want to start with the youth, the young ones. So that's the initiative that we created to bridge the gap between African Americans and Africans on the continent. So that's what we've been doing for the past 4 years. Yeah.
Wow. So, because that's such a big project to take on. What made you decide that? And I guess we could be here for days to talk about how you actually had set up everything with that, because I just can't even imagine. But what made you decide that that's what you wanted to do? Because that's a big project.
Yeah, it is. I'm very grateful for it. And like I was saying, it's through the challenges that I encountered when I was in college. I dropped out of school because I wasn't able to finance my education. I had a scholarship, but it wasn't enough for me to be able to pay for my tuition. And I knew that there's so many students that have great potential within them that can excel in life, but because of these struggles that they face in life, their goals or their vision in life are not be able to attain. They cannot attain that because they have these financial difficulties, or they have issues in their communities with whether it's being parents, neglect, all of that. So those are the reasons why it really motivated me to start this initiative. And I had really support system around me that I was able to reach out to different people to help me start this on the ground. And it's been great so far. We have great board members, great officers that are we have officers that are actually serving on the ground, because I'm not in Ghana right now. I'm here in the United States, but we're working with the children in Ghana. So we have officers all over. We have people in Haiti, we have people in South Africa, and we have offices right here in the United States also, where I often go to different schools and speak to students. I like to work in the African American community, not just because I'm Black, but I just also like to work in the African American community a lot. So that's what really motivated the struggles that I encounter while living in the United States. Yeah.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about, because I didn't know this. This is what I didn't know, that you were an accountant.
Right.
And right now it's a busy season for tax
time.
So I know you are busy, and this is probably taking an hour out of your time where somebody is trying to get their money. Can you tell us a little bit about it? Because, people may want to get in touch with you later about taxes and all that kind of stuff. So tell us a little bit about how you got into that.
So right after college, I joined this accounting firm, TDM CPA, an associate, and I've been there for almost 5 years now, just to dive into the new changes. And now everybody has questions about the new changes in the tax code, and I'm not sure if you all also do have questions. But if you want to ask me any questions, I'm going to dive into a few changes in the tax code this year. There's been a few changes. But if you want to reach me up there, you can always send me an email, viola@gmail.com, phone number 240-406. So the first thing was the law was passed back in December 20th, 2017. That's when the tax code changes occurred. And it was set to really make the tax simpler, give the middle class some type of relief, and also boost the economy, economic growth. But when we talk about the middle class tax cut, to be honest, based on what I've seen so far, it's not really helping the middle class. Now, I want to throw this question out since I have everybody in the room, right? Yeah. And we're talking about it. Do anybody, when they say tax, the middle class, what comes in your mind in terms of salary range? Then I'll give you all the numbers, what makes up the middle class, average middle class in the U.S. When we say the middle class, what range of salary are we thinking about?
That's a loaded question.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna let the guests go ahead and give me a middle class.
I can tell you what people think it is, and then I can tell you what I surely know it is. I know
okay.
It's not. Most people think middle class is where they are. They think that it's people that make probably roughly like 75 to 150 gross. But if you really look at the numbers, middle class is over $250,000 a year. It's not people who make under 100. Correct. And so it's just based on what our community considers. Because I think you just go by what you know.
Correct.
And so if you're looking in our community, you say, well, this particular group is lower class, and that's a terrible way to put it. But if you are on a system or you are requiring assistance from the government, then that will be considered a lower class. I'm not there, and then I have wealthy people, and I think wealthy people make over 100,000. Well, I'm not there, so I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
So I think that's how we came up with it.
Correct.
But number-wise, I believe it's over $250,000 a year is the real middle class that we wouldn't even think about.
Correct. And I think people get confused with middle class versus blue collar class.
Oh, that's good.
So you know what I mean. So people think, oh, I'm a hard-working person, then I'm middle-class America, because they see that media label. But when it comes to true numbers, that's
so
what
what number are we going to give her, and then you're going to...
Oh, well, we'll let her just tell us,
Yeah, based on...
You're up, Jolie.
The real or what we think. But you let us know, and then we're going to... Look, then you're going to have to restate your contact information, because I think they may be blowing up your line.
Oh, okay. All right, so did everybody get the number? So I can continue right now.
So let's go with.
Which number that we're gonna go with?
Yeah, what number you guys want to go with in terms of middle class, average middle class earn?
200,000. Nice round number.
200,000, and that's a great number. And I really wish when people come in to file their tax return, they don't get really hit with this new tax cut. The middle class average is for anybody that earns between 46,000. This is the U.S. average, 46,960 to 140,900. You are in the middle class. So literally, yes. And around the D.C. area is 438 to $132,000. You are a middle class. So these is all in different counties. Prince George's County is $48,027 to $143. So if you live around that area, you literally can tell that you are in the middle class right there. So that's where the tax cut is really hitting a lot of people. The tax rate has gone down compared to last year. The personal exemptions that we used to have is no longer in place in effect this year. The personal exemption is gone. The child tax credit used to be $1,000, but now it's $2,000, which is a good thing. And then there's a limitation on state and local tax. So let's just say you earn about $75,000. You pay state tax about $6,000. You own a house and you pay a mortgage, a real estate taxes about another $6,000. Literally, your state and local tax is $12,000 right there. But you can only take up to $10,000. There is a cap on that where you will not be able to take the full $12,000. You can only take $10,000. And we've seen a lot of families being affected by this, and we strongly believe that limitation on the state and local tax needs to be reformed again, because somebody may live in a different county that they don't necessarily pay high taxes on real estate taxes, but another, like Prince George's County, pay very high, tremendous real estate taxes. So you see that people are being affected in that aspect. The AMT, American alternative minimum tax, has been taken away to almost $1 million. So that's no longer in existence. So there's been a little bit, tax changes here. It has been good so far to some people. Some people, it's not so great for them, especially if you're in the middle class family that they say is going to help. It's not really helping some people. Yeah. So if you all have any questions, and I'm not sure how many minutes I have to cover on this topic, but I'll give my phone number again just in case anybody have any questions afterwards. My phone number is 240-406-2089.
Okay, and tell them how they can reach you on Facebook or Instagram or even an email address. And we will also take that information and share it on our pages so that people can get in contact with you. So can they reach you on social medias, or do you have an email address, or is your number the best way?
Yeah, so all my social media is Viola Teba. So it's just my first name and the last name. You can reach me on Instagram, Facebook, and then also you can always, I think, being so basic, email is always perfect for me, which is violateba@gmail.com.
Wonderful. And actually, we've tagged all of our guests on our promotion, so you can also reach them by that tag. So I'm hoping that you can stay on and join us for our next two guests, and so we still have a little time, so we'll keep you on the line. But if you have to drop off, that's we got you, and you are forever connected to Girls Gabbin. So thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully you'll stay tuned.
Thank you.
So we're going to introduce our next guest. Because we got some money in here, so I know y'all gonna help us know how to keep our money in our pockets, okay? Or spend it wisely if it has to come out. But the next guest we're going to talk about, she's a licensed financial consultant who is on a crusade to stamp out financial illiteracy in our communities. Whether it be a group session or one-on-one, she explains how to build a strong financial house. She has a strong passion for helping families become debt-free and financially independent. She's a graduate of Bowie State with a bachelor's in accounting. So look, I'm trying to tell you. And she has a master's in psychology, which that combination is like
weird.
No, it's bomb, right? It's like, oh yeah, because I mean,
Finances is very emotional.
Sense, right?
Yeah.
So, and she also has a true sense of humor, and she uses her humor and years of teaching and training experience to help her mission, which is to help others reach their highest potential. I want to welcome Andrea Little Jackson.
Yay!
Yes. So now, Andrea, I'm gonna give you a little bit about Andrea because, and our co-host Andrea knows Andrea.
Yes.
I hope that's sitting right. Can you see that? But I know Andrea for, oh gosh, it's been how many years?
It's been over 10 years. I think
It
it was
has.
2009. I think that was 2009.
It was a long time ago, but I will tell you, which a lot of people might not remember or don't know. But I know Andrea because when I started my online magazine, Dove Style Magazine, Andrea is the one and her team of friends. I ran into the right people at the right time that helped me to get Dove Style Magazine started. I mean, from the very beginning. So forever, I am grateful. Yes, she helped me set up business and get things in order. And she was actually a part of the team as well. And she wrote gave some financial tips and things like that. So we welcome you, and we want you to share too what it is that's going on with you and what that passion is doing for you.
Well, first of all, thank you guys so much. So thank to you, Lisa, and also to Andrea. I know she talked to me, she called me earlier. And so thank you guys for allowing me to be on the show. I really appreciate that. I never take it lightly anytime I have an opportunity to have any type of forum to talk about what I do. And yes, that is how we met years ago through Lisa and Pam, and I think Pastor Dawn and everybody. There was an event that they had at Pastor Dawn's church at that time. And so, you know, since then, just a lot. But even at that point in time, just have a heart for financial literacy, like you said. I was not a person that grew up understanding money. So the weird thing about all of it, I do have an undergrad in accounting, but I did that because I'll never forget in the 7th grade thinking, you know, you try to figure out who's the wealthiest person you know. And the wealthiest person I knew in the 7th grade was an accountant. And so I said to myself, I'm going to do that. That's what I'm going to do in 7th grade. I didn't even really know what accountant was, but he just had the most money.
Right.
And so I said, well, that's what I'm going to do when I get older.
Makes
and
sense.
so, so I went to school and I got the degree, and it was so funny. And I mean, my gosh, the things that affect you. Teacher came to class. He was mad at us because we all had failed a test. And it was a senior year in college, in undergrad, and he threw a box on the table and he said, what are you going to do when somebody throws the they want you to fix all their bills? And in the back of my head, I was like, nothing. I'm doing nothing because I'm not doing that. Moving on. So I went through it, got the degree, got out, and said, now what? I think I'll go back and I'm going to do counseling. That's what I'm going to do. So I went back to school, said, I'm going to be a counselor. And then it's just crazy how God just be laughing at the stuff you do.
Absolutely.
And so I'm sitting in the class, you know, get your master's, it don't take that long. So I'm sitting in the class, about to get out of the class, a man come in the class and he says, what happens if somebody walks in a room and asks you if they're crazy, and they ask you, and they're so passionate.
Yeah.
They're going to ask you if they're crazy. What are you going to do? I said, not that. Not going to do that. I don't know. Not going to do this either. So I'm going to get this degree and put that on the wall and call it a day. And so then years later, I actually worked in IT for 10 years. I didn't do anything with either one of those. And then I was blessed to run into the awesome Super Duper. She's my mentor, my coach, my friend, my confidant, the awesome Lisa M. Jones. And I joined her in business. And prior to doing that, though, she just changed. At that time, I was married. She changed our lives because you just taught us some very basic, fundamental financial concepts that I had not been privy to. You know, I like to run around. I'm from Prince George's County, born and raised. I was born in D.C., but you know, like when you jump the line, Prince George's D.C.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I can claim either one people.
Right.
Doesn't matter. Thank
That's
you.
right.
Because you were in D.C. Because you're
Yeah.
a warrior.
Yeah.
So
But
I'm
then
a
I
Raider.
came back to Maryland, so
So me and Andrea Riley are Raiders. Roosevelt, born and
I
bred,
know.
all day, every day. Yes, hands
They're
up.
a rivalry.
And so, yes. So we were so, you know, I felt like, all right, well, I'm graduating from the best school in the county. I got hyped up about Bowie State.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm
Well, you weren't in the county.
Okay,
You was in
sorry.
D.C. I
I
could be
was
the
gonna
best
say, wait a
school
minute,
in the
no.
county.
Okay.
But regardless of whether it was Bowie, it was Roosevelt, nobody taught me about money. So
Okay.
I immediately got in debt. Straight out of high school, I graduated Bowie, like back then in the 90s. I got 2 degrees. It wasn't even $10,000. And I look at them now like, so sad. But I came out. But the crazy thing is, I came out with over $30,000 of not student loan debt, of credit card debt. So I had no idea how to manage money at all. It was a hot mess. I always tell my clients, there's absolutely nothing you can say to me that I haven't done. So I'm not that person that was so in love with finances at that point in my life that I went into that career. I actually am that person that didn't know how to do anything, and when it was taught to me, it was so simple. I'm like, God, everybody needs to know this.
Right.
And so I was like, if it's not that difficult, and it's the difference, I'll never forget, I had just got married, he had a son, and I had a house. And so my grandmother, because grandmothers care, so my grandmother said, first thing you need to do is go get you some insurance. You need some life insurance. They didn't say insurance, they say insurance. And so she said, you got to get some life insurance. So she sent her agent to my house. And that agent sat down with us, and she put $50,000 of coverage on me and $50,000 of coverage on my spouse, and no coverage on our child. And that cost $86 a month. And so when I ran into Lisa, she said I can replace that. She gave me $250,000, gave him $250,000. We had one child at that time, put $25,000 on that child, and every subsequent child, and it was still $86 a month. And I was like, ooh,
wow.
What? And then that's when I learned that there were two different kinds. That's a different show, but I'm saying the fact that I just sat there and said, wait a minute. Did she not know that she could give me the same amount of coverage for the same amount of dollars? And that she could give me more coverage for the same amount of dollars? Did she not know? Did she not care? Right. And so then it became a crusade at first to go talk to everybody that my grandmother had sent somebody to their house. Because I was like, wait a minute, this woman is telling people not the truth. Right. And it was just other basic things about how to save your money and just things that weren't taught to me, like that I should have 3 to 6 months of expenses in an emergency account. See, I learned real early how to make money not work for me. But nobody told me how to make it work for me. Right. So I would do like crazy things with my money. One of the ways I paid for college, I have a government family. You start working for the government when you get straight out of high school. And most of the people retire from the government. I'm the only person that kind of jumped out there and said, that's not what I want to do. And so, but when I was in that realm, to pay for college, I would buy, I would get the $500 bonds, but they were only $250. So you would pay $250 for a bond, but it was worth it never got to the $500. I just needed the $250. And so that was my way, because if I did that for 3 months, then I would take that and I would pay my tuition. But I did like the craziest things to pay for school, to save money. And so when the principles were taught to me, and I'm like, oh my God, it's a better way. Yes. It has to be a better. And the best thing that she ever taught me to this day is that I didn't have to work for somebody else. And she showed me how, something called the cash flow quadrant, and she showed me how I can go from the left side of that quadrant, be an employee or self-employed, to be a business owner on the right side of the quadrant, create 4 streams of income, to become a owner, not a loaner, to be in a position that I can actually show other people how to do that, because she showed me, and something simple, like I said, and basic, as understanding money concepts, not always running for what we want. You sit down with people, and I'm sure you know, they sit down and, they talk about, and I was the same way.
Yeah, it's that consumerism.
The house, the boat, the car, these things that I want. It is tax season. That's a fat O with a capital B. Please, please, please. Please don't go take and pay off.
I know violence of this thing. Yes,
my God. They take it and they go pay off all their debt. They're like, I don't pay off all my debt. It's such a vicious cycle. They go pay off all their debt. And then, by the time November get here, they accumulate debt again, but they're using the credit cards because they don't have those savings. And so, I just use my tax return. That's why people sweating right now. Because the grand scheme didn't work. They didn't get back a big tax return. So now, only though I don't have no savings, I got a bunch of debt because I couldn't pay off what I charged up over Christmas, and I didn't get a tax return. So they really crying right now. And so when I think about the fact that I'm in a position that I can help people with that, and it's not hard, and I can help somebody, like you talk about having older clients as well, I can help somebody who may have $1 million they want to roll over, but I can also help somebody who got 50. And they say, I just want to start. Can I start? But I always make it clear to people, because I don't know if you get this, Sacagawea, but it's always amazing to me when people hear finances and money. They automatically go to broke, busted, and disgusted. And I'm like, do you understand that if you are, perfect example, you have who passed away last year, you have Aretha Franklin, you have Prince, who passed away almost 3 years ago, and you have Alan Thicke. All 3 of these people had money, a lot of it. None of them had wills.
Wow.
So, exactly. So we had estates, but we didn't know what to do with the estates. So that was proof right there. Simply because you have money doesn't mean that you know what to do with money.
Right.
One year, Lisa did she did the Soul Train cruise, and so they had her come in. And she actually was she was a speaker on the Soul Train cruise, and so she met with Dougie Fresh and some of the other people that were there. And then it was just, she said it was amazing because again, you have all these people who some still have money, some don't.
Yep.
Right.
Simply because they can't. You ever figure out, like, when you run into, you know, ball players and different people, how they're at the point that they're selling their Super Bowl rings?
Right.
Because they made money, but they didn't know how to manage that money.
Right.
And keep it.
Absolutely. I tell people all the time, it's not what you make, it's what you keep.
Right.
Hold on, I gotta go over here.
That's a hashtag.
High five.
That's
Bam.
a hashtag. Okay.
Child.
So,
Yes.
let me write one more.
But yeah, child, I'm telling you, and because in this area, that is very hard for people to understand. You get caught, people get caught up by that number at the top, but they know it says gross.
Yep.
They know what gross means, but for some reason they convince themselves that that's the money that they take home every day. I mean, every week. And it's like, no, you take home the net after taxes, after deductions, after. You
I don't
take
know
home
what they're looking at.
Right. They put the net out, and whatever's left, that's what you get. But you don't base your lifestyle on what comes up out of that net.
That's why
It's
when
that
you
gross.
fill something out and they tell you that you know, like,
girl, you in the fast for lane.
oh my God, when you feel something out and they say, oh, well, no, you make too much. I say, well, what are you looking at?
Oh, that gross.
You know,
gross.
you count a whole bunch of things that I don't get to count.
Let me tell you, this country be on some other type of stuff. I know you have Cam. My daughter got accepted into FIT. Shout out to Nia Jackson. She's going to New York, people. She's going to New York, family. So they fill out the, you know, we have to fill out the FAFSA.
Right.
And we fill out, and they want to know your gross income. And other people like, your guys be like, wait, no, I didn't see that.
No.
How you going to base what you going to give me on
cross
that?
out the gross and put net.
Oh my God.
Show. Oh my
and so, like I said, when you're dealing with people, it really comes down to how do I manage what I really keep, what I make, and make sure above anything else that I pay me, not above, because I actually live by a 10-10-80 rule. I pay God his 10, I give me my 10, and then 80% else has to get paid from that 80. Everything else has to get paid from the 80. But the thing that I want to, you know, that, like I said, that evades people, I go in their house, they show me their budget, and they got the mortgage company, and they got the car note, and they got everything but me. Did you pay you?
Right.
Because if you didn't pay you at the end of that year,
you're going to be mad.
Oh my gosh, if you got $5 in an account, that is what you made for an entire year. And again, people out buying Christmas gifts and televisions that's bigger than life.
Yes.
But if you made if you look at all the places, your mattress, your IRA, your TSP, your jar, you got $5.
Right.
You made $5.
Right.
And so just again, helping people to understand, you know, what does it look like to be debt-free, financially independent, and properly protected, and so bringing that all together, that is my commercial break.
You know what? Look, and I was getting ready to say, what Andrea is like, I don't even need to ask anything because all the questions that were in my mind, I was like, look, she was getting ready to say, she was like, and then I was getting ready to say, and we're getting ready to go to financial church right now because I know somebody is saying, woo. But that was awesome information, and I'm hoping that everybody is tuning in and taking notes. I swear to goodness, you all need to be taking notes. I'm hoping I'm seeing some pictures of pens and pencils because this is some serious stuff. But I want you to let everybody know how to reach out to you and on social media and everything else so that they will, and we'll share it also on our page as well.
Okay, so I'm still battling with Instagram. Like, what am I supposed to do? Put up dollar signs and take pictures? I haven't figured it out yet, but I do have a page. My daughter was mad at me, and so I'm always wrong. I think it's something. I don't know what it is. But if you look for, I don't know what it is. So
we'll find out what it is.
But if you need to contact me, I do know I'm old school. This is amazing. 301 633 8688. I'll answer if you call.
Right.
It's real simple. If I don't want to talk to you, I'll block the call. But I'll answer. That's not even a Google phone. That's my phone. It's really my phone. I had that phone number for 24 years. So 301 633 8688. You can also reach me if you want to email me at Andrea, and that's ANDREA _Jackson and number 5, Andrea _Jackson 5 at yahoo.com, which so dates myself. No, it's not Gmail, it's Yahoo. My business. Yahoo.com.
The power shut up. Let me
Think it's about to. Hold it tight. Hold it tight. She's about to pull out AOL. You got Yahoo too?
No, I'm over here like, what's wrong with Yahoo?
No,
From
nothing.
1952.
Not a, nothing.
I do have a Gmail.
I have one.
Don't
use
use
it.
At least you'll have AOL. So I gotta stop talking.
Okay, so thank you so
You're
much,
welcome.
Andrea. We were blessed to have you on the show, and we're gonna actually move on to our last guest and have you close us out. And at the end, we're gonna tell you how to stay in touch with Girls Gabbin. So we're gonna introduce our last guest. And I heard Viola laughing on the phone because you all actually, when we do the guests, and they always have social media and, you know, but you all are the first group that to me gave numbers.
Yeah.
Which I thought was very interesting because they're like, okay, yeah, I mean, I don't know what to put on Instagram. Like, there's clip art out there with money signs, but just call me.
Correct.
I mean, because when you're talking about money anyway, it's like, okay, give me a call because it's hard to text it.
What's going on Instagram?
It's hard to text the money issue. So, but let's introduce our last guest. She is an independent financial consultant who spent 8 years serving our country. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Actually, with the U.S. Air Force. This started her financial management career. She then transitioned into the federal government to continue financial management for over 20 years and managing budgets over $6 billion. Okay, so she handles money. Okay, she was selected to represent the national, now make sure I say this, the National Geospatial.
Yeah, that's it.
And did me well. Intelligence Agency as a Brookings Institute Fellow.
Yeah, Brookings.
Yeah. Brookings Institute Fellow on Capitol Hill for 1 year, as well as being selected as a Sharon Passion Leadership Awardee.
Yes.
She took a leap of faith and started her own business as a financial consultant, helping people with their budgets, debt, savings, credit, and retirement.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
we'll be preparing for that.
Okay,
so she shares options where people don't lose their retirement when the stock market goes down, and where the bank can front load 75% of their retirement. Okay, so you will be getting calls too.
Okay.
Her mission is to help others achieve financial security and a peace of mind. She has appeared on ABC, WJLA twice, as well as a contributor to BAWSE magazine. Welcome, and I want to make sure I say this correctly. Sacagawea.
That is me.
Fanning.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So, you tell us, because we got the money up in here.
Correct.
How you helping us and what you're doing for the community, because you all are doing what's needed.
Correct.
Actually. So,
yeah,
let us know what's going on.
Yeah, my main thing too is what, like Andrea was saying, it's like, it's not what you have, it's how much you're keeping.
Right.
Because also I believe in a lot of people have this rich mindset. We need to have a wealth mindset.
Amen.
We need to transfer that. We need to change that.
Make me shout.
Correct. Because what it is that we need to make sure that we have learned those lessons to set up the financial legacies, not just for ourselves, but the next generation.
Right.
We need to start making sure it's not taboo at the dinner table to talk about money. We need to talk about it with our kids, talk about the mistakes you made, and then why don't you partnership together and start correcting it and making sure your kids, like you said, I did too, went to college, had that credit card debt, along with the student loan debt, and had no idea what to do. So it took years for me to dig myself out of that and understand how money works.
Yes, Lord.
Because I did too. I met my great mentor. Her name is Shirley Lou, like a couple of years ago. That gave me real insight. I was like, wait a minute. You mean you can do this and you can kind of like become your own bank? I'm like, whoa.
Well,
this is deep.
Because I wanted to mention to you, because you both mentioned this, because that's where I got stuck right out of college, and what I thought was interesting, because it's a setup.
Yes, it is.
But
in a big way.
As soon as I would think I was a freshman in college, and outside of the library that you go to do your studies, they had plenty of tables set up where you could just get your very first credit card. Moms are not around, dads are not around. You sign up, and I'm thinking logically, that is the craziest thing in the world because you do not have a job.
No.
Okay.
No.
And they just give it to you.
Correct.
And sometimes
you're
it's
fresh.
just $300.
Yeah.
But that will turn into the biggest debt ever.
Correct.
So I'm sorry, but it was like it was hit me when you said it, and you said I was like, that happened to me. So they're setting these setting these kids up on purpose. So anybody listening, you been tell them that it's a setup. Don't go to the table.
They can't
don't
do that.
follow
They can't
the
do
night.
no more. Praise God.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
That would be President Obama.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. That's
Correct. So what it is that I sit down with people and we go through their finances. I do like a financial analysis. I want to go from A to Z, and I tell people same thing you were saying, Andrea. There's nothing you can't tell me that I haven't seen or done before myself. So just be honest and real with me, because I can't help you if I don't know. You telling me, oh, I'm good because I do this. I was like, I want to get to the nitty gritty. How much and we base it off that net. We base our analysis on the net, not the gross. They're like, this, no. I want to know your take home. The real. And so we go through everything. We go through expenses. And I mean, I get down to the nitty gritty. Like, you take out money from the ATM, where does it go?
right.
Oh, it's only $5 here, $5. I was like, let's start multiplying. $5 a day. That's $150 a month. And that turns to, what, $1,800 a year. Let's start doing some multiplication. Let's start really understanding what you're doing with your money.
Right.
Then people look at me and they're like, I was like, yeah. Because that $1,800 could have did something really, really well for you.
Compound.
Okay?
Absolutely.
All right? And so we take a look at that, and then we also take a look at, okay, what do you have? Let's look at those assets. And people really don't understand when you say look at your assets. Your assets can be what's in your savings. Like you said, TSP, 401k, CDs, mutual funds. Let's see what you have. Some people will straight up tell you, I don't have any of that. I was like, then we got a problem. And I'm seeing you roll around in a Mercedes, but you don't have any assets. That's a huge problem. That's when we start looking at the expenses. Yes. We start looking at these expenses. You're paying either rent or $500-600 car payment, $200-300 in insurance.
Yeah.
I'm like, these bills are adding up. It's
House
taking
notes
all
and
your
car.
money.
Right.
Right.
Are you sleeping in it too?
Right.
Right. And then on top of that, I got a whole
Maybe.
different section when we're looking at credit card debt.
Right.
Come, let's be real.
Right.
And then people are like, well, I guess I'm not doing as well as I thought. You're not.
Wow.
And I'm going to be honest with you.
Right.
But there are ways you can change it and fix it.
Right.
But you have to make sure, and we got to dig deep on what is driving you to feel like you need this type of car when you don't have money set up and you're trying to retire in 7 years.
Right.
That
Yes.
is
My
an
gosh.
issue.
Yes.
That's an issue.
Yes.
So we got to take a look at. I'm like, I'm gonna be real moment right now. I'm gonna tell people 7 years probably seems like a good long time, but it's not.
Right.
It can come like that.
Right.
So if we want to correct this situation, you got to start changing these behaviors.
Right.
You going on the cruise with your friends every year, you may have to stop that.
Right.
Because my thing is, who's going to be taking care of you, and how you going to be taking care of medical costs,
Right.
housing costs, food.
Right.
When you want to decide you want to retire, that's if you can retire in that window that you want to.
Right.
So let's really look at it and see.
Retirement goals.
Okay, good. And we want to. I tell people that too. That's the fun side. What's your goals? I do look.
I want to go.
Oh,
to go
and
home.
stay there. You don't want to be on nobody's cloud.
I want to go home.
And that's a great.
In due time. I love my job.
There you go.
Oh no.
So you ask the people the goals, and then I say, okay, so this is what you told me you want to do. So how important is it for you to accomplish those goals? And then they're like, well, will I have to give up certain things? Don't think about it as giving up. Think about it as a short-term redirection of things to have a long-term gain.
Right.
You gotta change that mindset.
Absolutely.
Because I'm gonna tell you this now: the people who got money 6 figures and up in their bank account, they're not thinking the way you're thinking.
Right.
They're thinking the opposite.
Right.
When they get that little bit of money, they know they had some discretionary left. Guess where it's going? It's going to either a savings account or it's going on to another account. Because it do. Like Andrea is saying too, you're been in, do insurance and woke up about insurance. Same thing that happened to me. there are vehicles where you can literally become your own bank. Instead of paying $200 a month in a savings account, that'll give you what, $2,400 for the year. Instead of you, knock on wood, Lord, if something happens to you, you pass away, guess what? Your family has that $2,400 sitting in the bank account, maybe to help you. Why don't you start looking at options of where that $200 can potentially become, like you're saying, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 benefit.
Right.
So if something happens to you, boom, they get that to kind of help, stay above water because you're no longer there.
Right.
But you got to think about it in those ways. It's like, well, my money's safe in a savings account. Your money's safe in other vehicles too.
Right.
It's just the people with money have learned the game and they're playing by the rules. They learn the rules, they play the game, and they come up with more. So we got to educate our community and the next generation of how they can do that. Okay. And those vehicles are out there. Even also little things about the thrift savings program. People don't really understand how that works.
Right.
They think once I retire, they think that once I retire, I'm going to get a certain amount, just like how my pension works. Don't work that way.
Right.
Basically, you need to learn about what they call a life expectancy calculation when it comes to your thrift savings program. You need to understand how much money you're going to be getting, how long it's going to last. Because unfortunately, with the traditional accounts, you have the issue that most likely you're going to outlive what you had in there. So there are ways to supplement that account and make sure it becomes guaranteed lifetime income. That certain dollar amount that you're going to be getting once you turn it on is going to be the amount you get until the day you die. And then also that other issue of medical costs. It's huge during retirement. And people still have that one fund that they got to do day to day and live and then try to take a medical cost. There are also other avenues that if you get sick, it can potentially double that account for you for 5 years. We got to educate people that there are other vehicles out there and other options. Just because you haven't heard of it doesn't mean it's not real. Just
and
because you haven't seen it. Come on.
So, because I know we're coming to a close,
sorry.
You need to definitely, just that in itself, you need to let people know how to get in touch with you. If you all are not blowing up their telephones, they didn't give you a direct line, okay? I don't know how much better than that.
You can touch
a direct line. So
and
let them know how
I'm going to continue on the tradition. So once again, my phone number is 706, because I was born and raised in Georgia, so while I was in the military, I got my cell phone. So I didn't have this since I've been in the military.
That's a long time.
So
keep those numbers.
Okay, 706 717 9590.
And can they find you on social media and things?
Yes, I'm on Facebook. It's Sacagawea. Hopefully they'll spell it for you.
We tagged her in the promo.
Right. But I got a website too now.
Okay.
I feel good. So it's S as in Sam Fanning, my last name. So SFANNING.com. I kept it simple.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So, okay, we're going to close the show out in the next minute. First of all, I want to let you all know, thank you so much for tuning in to Girls Gabbin.
I love
You can actually find us on Facebook
and thank
Instagram.
you so much for having me.
Absolutely. This was powerful information, you all, and I really need you all. And Andrea's online, so hello, Andrea, and we got everybody in here.
Hey.
So she's sharing and talking, so hello. And you can find us on Girls Gabbin in Facebook, Instagram. Our website is www.girlsgabbin.com. So please stay tuned. Next month we will be highlighting young people, the youth. It's all about them for the month of April. So anything that's related to them that can, empower them. So anybody
Can I throw in one more tidbit because something popped in my head and I wanted to say it real quick. Another thing too, vehicles you can use, like if you become sick while you're still living, you can pay for your medical bills, and there's a way to do that. So,
so use that phone number.
Okay.
But we're going off the air in just a second, but I want you all really, really quick to give them one tidbit to go home with after this show, and anything else that you all have questions on that we haven't caught. We will definitely share it in our page, and please reach out to these ladies because this is stuff that everybody needs to know to take care of their families and themselves. So one quick tip, real quick, and then we're gonna sign off.
One quick tip. Anybody who calls me, hey, I will give you a free financial analysis one-on-one. I really want to educate and help people. So please,
Okay, so
give me a call.
you heard
or
that?
go to the website.
Look at Andrea. Y'all heard that? Okay, wait a minute. Say one more time, real quick.
Free financial one-on-one consultation. It's Dr. Julia.
Okay, she said it. Free.
Yeah.
Y'all heard the word free now. Come on now. Okay,
I want to educate. I want to help you.
Viola, real quick before you hang up, give me one quick tip for you.
Oh, great. You should, start thinking about investing into real estate. That's always the best location in terms of really financing, just investing, generally investing your money. That's a great area to invest in real estate. So if you're thinking about how to buy houses or anything like that, think about real estate. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
And Andrea, close us out with a good tip.
Well, it's going to sound like I'm copying, but I do.
Well, copy.
I do financial consultations, complimentary, which is also free.
Woo!
They have an office in Landover, the office in
It's plenty for all of us. Plenty for all of us.
Over 8 million people in this
There you
area.
go.
So
Let's
Givers
like
in the house. So I want to thank you all for tuning in to Girls Gabbin. We
Yes.
appreciate you every Sunday. We come on every Sunday, 7 to 8 p.m. on WinDC Radio. You can check us out on the app. If you've missed the show, please tune in on YouTube, and you can also catch us. And on our pages, we'll be sharing. And I know our guests will be sharing too. So thank you again. We appreciate you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.